grace of all time upon your life. Can you tell us your name, where you come from, and where you stay?
Good morning and welcome to the church. My name is Nicola Walker. I'm a neighbor to the church. I stay next to the church.
Let us glorify God.
The first one is prophecy confirmation. People of God, when I say I confirm this testimony, I'm saying this. I'm saying this thing to shame the devil. Some of these things, you should keep these things for yourself. Don't laugh at them because some of them are very painful. The first one is prophecy confirmation. Last year, the last prayer mountain, we were with the man of God. The man of God came to me and said, there's a woman in your life. There's a woman who wanted you to marry her, but you didn't marry this person. This woman, he brought a curse into your life. I confirm this prophecy to be true. When the man of God said this thing, I had forgotten because it was some years back. It was 2014, the time of the incident. So when I left the prayer mountain, that's when I started to recall, looking at the things that are happening. I realized, oh, I was talking about this. I kept this confirmation for a long time because some of these things that I difficult to say in front of people, you keep them. You keep them for yourself. So, there was this woman, it was 2014, who was my friend. There was the time she told me that, you know what, I want you to marry me. Then I told her, no, there's no way I can marry you because you know that I'm married. There's no way I can marry you. You know, so as men sometimes you can use some words to defend yourself, even if you know that you are using those words just to defend. Then I told her, you know, Corey, I'm just from marriage and I did an expensive wedding, so I can't wait to another wedding. How? Listen to this prophecy very well. You will understand some things. Then she said, no, I can go and take a loan and pay everything. So I cut off time now. I started to realize now this thing now is taking a wrong direction. Then I studied from there. I encountered heavy losses. Heavy losses that reflect to millions, not thousands, that reflect to millions. I will just touch there and there. I will not talk about all, just to highlight you. But when I am talking about millions, what I'm talking about, I get some of the people when they look to me, they say, why is this person talking about millions when he doesn't look like millions? So it happened again. I'm a farmer and a businessman. I believe there are some who knows me here. There was a point whereby my farm animals, they were multiplying in higher numbers I was staying at the I had to relocate my farm to another place. So this thing is still on prophecy confirmation. It's a bit long, then I will cut it there and then you will pick as I'm saying it. So I had to relocate to this farm. When I relocated to this farm, the owner of the farm, I was paying rental for my cattle. It was around 2 point something every month. I'm also good at doing things. If I'm well, if there's nothing that is disturbing me, I'm good at that. So when I relocated to this farm, so I did what is needed in my animals. So it means that I was doing well. They were also multiplying at a high rate. So when I reached that site where I rented, these people, it means that I was the one who was having many cattle than these other farmers. So it means that if something is not going well, I'm the one who's going to be affected. So what happened, I decided to go and buy a new engine. It was a TS1 engine. Because the one that they were using, despite I'm paying some rentals, I decided to go and buy a new TS1 so that my cattle could not suffer because the engine was less than. So for a actually like that, they were not buying diesel well. So I had to also buy diesel. So when it comes to the rices in that cattle, they will be lean because they will not be doing the right things. Mine, they will started to say that this small boy, I was still a small boy when there. I was around 30 something. So early 30s. So when this thing happened, these people, they were not happy with me. All of a sudden they changed. They said, now we are increasing your rentals. So it means now I was starting to pay 5,000 something a month, despite that they are not doing other things. It became so unbearable to me. I decided to relocate again. In 1 year, I remember I spent close to 100,000 in all these things. So I moved to a ranch. At that ranch, I was hiring a paddock. So that paddock, it means that the owners of this ranch, there were no cattle that were moving in this since they started this ranch because it was far away from the borehole. So there was this another who was a neighbor to this ranch again. He was our relative. I spoke with him, then we agreed that I will draw water from this ranch to my farm animals. I did that. You know what happened, people of God? Some of these things are very painful. In a month, I could buy 3 drums of diesel. What you will do, I will not speak by names. I will use Deshi. You will understand. It was very costful to me. So he will take those, put in his Land Cruiser, put in his trucks, then he will tell his head boy, tell him that diesel is. So I was also fixing the borehole in this farm, this ranch. And that person, he was owing a lot of animals, over 600 head of cattle. So I kept on. So it was also frustrating them because they realized, well, we are doing bad things to this person, but he's moving on. Why? Then this one who I was drawing water from, all of a sudden he decided to cut off water. asked myself, what am I going to do now? That time it was frustrating me too much to a point where I decided not to. I was going to the farm only month ends. When they cut off water, it means that they have to go and get water far away. And here is just a cut off. So it means that my animals, they had to go and get water at the other. And those people, they were also giving me problems. Money after money. Money after money. So, to a point whereby wild dogs, they ate over 30 head of animals. It's only that I'm married to a good wife. And these people, they realized, well, hey, this person, like, you know, when other women, they will be very angry. Why we did this? He'll be accepting everything as she hears it. And it was not going well with them, to a point where they told me that you your wife. Hey. And by then I was Christian minded. So just to give you an example, that when I say that I'm married to a good wife, I used to drink to a point whereby I will fail to open a door for myself. And I've never fought with my wife. I've never had any fights or any abusive language with her. I'll be with other men when they are drinking. When time is up, they will be saying, "I'm going to be beaten. I'm going to be beaten," and they will be realizing, "What? But this one, if it's 3 o'clock, he will shoot straight to home."
Yes, Mr. Lekotla. Are you there confirming that the relationship that you had with that certain woman brought a curse to your life?
I'm still on. You'll get it. Yes, it's long. Okay, so it kept on. When I was there, then I decided to go and buy some farms. I bought 3 farms. Then I dug a borehole in one of the farms. I dug a borehole 600 meters deep. It was 2015. To dig this borehole, it costed me over 400,000. And imagine I bought a home, and the water is not enough for my cattle. So it's another stress again. When I look at them crying, looking for water, hey. So by then I had trucks. I had to bounce again from Molepolole to the farm so that it can be enough. People, they can take advantage of you. Then there's someone who came, he was in problem. I have to give them, I rented his borehole. At first we agreed that I'll pay him 15,000. Then yes, I did that. I equipped the borehole. As things now, they were stabilizing. This demonic things, they came in. This person now, he said, no, from now you'll be paying 30,000. And all these things, diesel is mine, everything is mine. You see, those are costs. So, I got very angry to a point whereby, without even telling him, and all these things, when they were happening, I knew the sources. But since there was a case, I realized what there was a case. I was not saying it out. Everything, I knew what these things happening. I could have counteracted all these things before they harm me. So I relocated back to my farm. These things these things, they also caused problems to my kids. I have got 2 sons. They could have all returned Cambridge last year. July, when I was expecting the other, they should go and write. The other one started to become insane. I was in problem. Then I took a bold decision. I told myself that starting from, it was July, I'm not leaving my place anywhere. I'll be focusing on dealing with these issues. By then, I had started to come visiting this church. I came here as a visitor, but later on, I decided to join. So, my son, he took 3 months, he was at mental. When he reached that side, the doctors, they didn't handle him well. When someone was destroying people's properties, he was saying things that a normal person could not say. So that's why I say he's insane. He was insane. You know, I say, in short. So this medicine affected my son to a point whereby for 3 months I went to go there and feed her every day. Then sometimes when we have got this situation, doctors, they will call you. At first I had a meeting with one of the doctors. I said, no, yes, it's a drug, it's just a catalyst, just exciting him, not much to be okay in 3 days. I just accepted. Then 3 months passed, they were failing. Then they called me again. Now we are failing here. So we have decided to give him a leave. Maybe this place is not suitable for him. Maybe if he's outside, he might recover because it might not be okay for him. When he came that side, I'm confused because it's so long. This one is a testimony. I agree. At first, it was prophecy confirmation, but it served the same purposes. If you listen well, it's prophecy confirmation at the same time. It's testimony. When he came, since my wife is not attending church, he is going to a different church. So I recruited him to bring the child here. It was the resistance. So I had to call a family meeting so that we agree. He was advised for we should listen to a man. Then he came here. When he came here, it was prayer line. During the prayer line, the man of God prayed for him. After he touched him, it became worse. Since we are told we should return him back to, whenever we see a problem, we return him back to hospital. We thought we'll send him direct to the ward. They refused. The whole night I was there. I was with my wife and my brother. So, in the morning, he was sent to the wards. When we reached that side, the psychiatric nurse said, no, you can leave him so that the doctors can see him when they come. They'll be coming at 10 o'clock. Then I said, wow, that's what I like. So my wife then said, no, me, I'm not going anywhere. I'll be here till the doctor comes here. Me, I knew what if he stays here, he's going to disturb something. Then just to avoid confrontation in front of people, I decided to go home with my brother. When I was coming, I told him, he's going to come with this. He has disturbed, so he's going to come with that son back. Then, when I was at home, I saw him coming with a son. I was very angry. I was uncontrollable. I was just like a mad person now. You know what? What you were saying sometimes you might think that women are not okay, but they will be talking something that makes sense. You are saying, no, you know what? I'm tired of coming here to feed this kid every day. So I want to see what I want to take him back home. Then I told her, yes, you can go and monitor the situation, but you don't have the facility. What you are saying is right. But how about when he leaves the house at night? What are you going to do? How about when he destroys things at home? You will be saying, help me. Yeah? Well, you are the one who caused problems. I just avoided. He came here again. The man of God prayed for him again. Hey, it became extremely worse. And I was angry to a point where I told her that, no, I'm not going to go anywhere. From church, it was 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock I went to sleep when I left here. 6 o'clock. At around 9 o'clock, my brother came and said, please, I know that you are not happy, but there's nothing that you can do. Then we took him back to the hospital. The following day, when they went outside, he was becoming worse. He was doing things that are very abnormal. Then the doctor said, no, now we have decided to take your son to Roberts, because now he can't manage. And here in Botswana, the facility that can test drugs is only at Roberts. It's not this. You can't test drugs when he's not at Roberts. When we reached there at Roberts, he became worse, whereby his body mass index, he was very thin, whereby he was being given some energizer for him to survive. When I looked at him, I cried. I said, how can I raise a child to be like this? When he was born normal and very intelligent. And I've got 2 sons. All of them, they schooled at El Haga for 10 years. When he was there, I came here. The prophet gave me anointing oil. So when the situation becomes worse there as a family, that's when you will meet. So we are 3 at home. Now we have to meet. Me, my brother, and my sister. We are all married. There's 1 sister and 2 that are men, but we are all married. So we went to Roberts together. Then there's this other brother-in-law of mine who was saying that I know of a traditional doctor. I kept quiet. I didn't believe of those things. I just kept quiet. When he came, I just anointed him. Then I left. I was just, in 3 weeks' time, he was healed. The other one is testimony again. It's about
yes, people of God, let us put our hands together for Jesus Christ. Yes, Mr. Loroto, so that the congregation and the people listening to you at home may understand. What you're telling the church right now is that your son had suddenly fell into mental illness, and it is during his stay at the hospital that as he was receiving his medication, it began to affect his mobility and functioning. Is that what you are attesting?
True, man of God.
Yes, Mr. Loroto, and you are saying that each and every single time that the hospital would discharge him, you would ensure that you would bring him into the arena of liberty. Is that what you are attesting?
True, man of God.
And you are saying that a severe case of mental illness, which would have taken many, many years to heal, he got healed in just 3 weeks. Is that what you are telling the church right now?
True, man of God.
Let us put our hands together for Jesus Christ. And you believe that it is after your encounter, your son's encounter with the healing and deliverance power of Jesus Christ through God's able servant, that he is now healed and delivered.
True, man of God.
What is it that he is able to do now that he was unable to do before?
He has gone back to school.
Let us put our hands together for Jesus Christ. Yes, you had also mentioned that your family had to constantly go to to the hospital, feed him and help him to bathe. What is it now that has changed?
He's doing everything for himself.
Let us put our hands together for Jesus Christ. Yes, that is the healing power of Jesus Christ. That is the deliverance power of Jesus Christ that reigns in this house of God. Thank you. You may continue with your other testimony.
The other testimony is the power of fasting. In my life, I have never fasted, but I have been a Christian. And I've met many men of God. And sometimes when I will be in the congregation, they will pick me from maybe 3,000 people by name, and they will tell me everything about me. But by then, since I was just going to church without maybe following the things of God or what is needed, or maybe being disobedient. You can be disobedient while you are sitting well there in church, but you will not be doing. Some people they'll be at church but not listening to the word of God. So that's what I'm trying to say. I'll be going to church, but I will not be listening. I will not be. I've gone to many prophets, and everything that I'll be praying for, they will happen. There was this point whereby I was praying that I want to leave alcohol. It was 2016. I took a step of faith. I wanted to see Prophet Makan. I met Buffalo's father that said that I was an international visitor. So when the man of God was praying for me, when he touched me, I started to vomit. That was the end of alcohol from 2016 up to now.
Let us glorify God.
When I left that site, because I was using my car, so it was very expensive to me. Then I started to do a research. Then I realized I could have used a flight. Using your car is expensive. Then I decided to attend at Prophet Bushir because it was near. Almost every week when he was in South Africa, I was going there.
Let us put our hands together for Jesus Christ. Yes, man of God, man of faith, you had said that you at the beginning of this year, you engaged in 21 days of fasting and prayer that were declared by God's able servant. Take us through how that changed your life.
By the time when I started fasting, things that that were hidden in my life, they started to be exposed. Especially people of God, as I told you that since July last year, I'm not leaving my home. Some people, they even called me, why are you leaving your things? I told them that, no, I came to this earth with nothing. I'll leave this earth with nothing. If I leave these kids again in this stage, this woman, you will not manage them because they are boys. And when kids, they become, the age of 16, 17, 18, of this fellow's age, they become more troublesome. With my kids, it's different. You can't see them playing around or doing that, but they are a problem. They are a problem. To me, I know that they are a problem. You can stay with a problem at home, thinking that is okay because people, they don't see what is happening. So by that time, my son, this one who has gone back to school, I started to become worried. I went to school. I told the teachers that these laptops, they are causing problems to our kids. Because some of them, this laptop, they are using this laptop doing things that they are not supposed to use it. May you please take it back? I told them that. Then the HOD, he told me that, no, I don't know, we could have taken back the laptop. But since he was not in school, the laptops in the school, they were taken from them, and certain programs they were cut off so that the kids, they don't access them. So they took off the laptop from him. You know what he would do? whole night will be a laptop. Tomorrow when he is supposed to go to school, he want to sleep. I'll be angry. Say, this laptop is causing a problem for him. He will do things, I'll not mention them because I get it, this thing is life. Since they are grown up, they will not like certain things to be said publicly. Everything that you will do, thinking that I don't know, I'll be a step ahead. When he comes, I say, why did you do this? Why did you do this? Now, from now, he's going to school normally. He's not giving me problems as he used to. That's why I say the power of fasting.
Let us glorify God.
I think, people of God, I think it's all, I could say, me, and some of them will feel asleep, and some of them will be angry here saying, this is why you want to talk about these things. I think, let me stop here.
Let us glorify God. Yes, man of faith, now you are in a position to give us a word of advice since God has touched and changed your life.
People of God, God has His own ways. When this curse that man of God spoke about it here, I learned something from that. You know, I was married, but I had a smaller. These things must desist from them. They can bring some curses in your life.
Glorify God.
Let us put our hands together for Jesus Christ. Yes, people of God, standing before the congregation is Mr. Nico Lekgotlo from Molepolole village, who gives words of prophecy, confirmation, and testimonies. It was during one of the prayer mountain services that Mr. Lekgotlo received words of prophecy from God's able servant. There is someone who was expecting you to ask her for her hand in marriage, but you did not do so, and this brought a curse upon your life. When the man of God said these words, Mr. Lekgotlo was unable to immediately remember. However, as time went on, he was able to recall. It was 10 years back when Mr. Lekgotlo had a friend. At that time, Mr. Lekgotlo shared that he lived a life far away from God and had been involved in an affair out of his marriage. At that moment in time, the woman whom he'd stayed with, had asked him to marry her. At that time, Mr. Lekgotlo told the woman that he was married and that he had spent a lot of money in his marriage. The woman had told him that she would take a loan in order for their wedding to be able to happen. At that point in time, Mr. Lekgotlo shares that he did not take her seriously. However, it is also after having that conversation with her that he decided to cut off all ties with her. On many occasions, she had tried to make contact with him. It is after this encounter that Mr. Lekgotlo began to experience many losses in his life. He lost close to 96,000 in his farming business as he would invest money and have no returns. He lost about 30 cows to wild dog attacks. Things got intense as he began to face many betrayals in business and lost his business trucks, which were taken away from him in legal battles. The legal battles he found himself in also cost him close to millions of bullets. This curse had also affected Mr. Lekgotlo's children. One of his children, who was in the cricket national team, just decided to abandon school and stay away from school. His life began to go sour, and he believes that at this point, God was punishing him for the sin he had committed. Let us give glory to God for that prophecy confirmation. Sharing his words of testimony, Mr. Lekgotlo gives testimony on his son's healing and deliverance. Last year, as his son was about to write his Cambridge examinations, he was attacked by a sudden mental illness. He began to destroy people's property and was uncontrollable. With this, he was admitted to Scottish Livingston Hospital. There he would receive treatment and medication, and all this medication had started to affect his mobility and functioning. He was no longer able to feed himself, unable to talk, and was unable to walk on his own. After 3 months in the hospital, he was discharged, and immediately Mr. Lekgotlo brought his son into the arena of liberty. This was during the Thursday prayer line service. The man of God prayed for him, and he responded to the anointed touch from God's able servant. His son would then constantly be admitted in hospital, and every time he would be discharged, Mr. Lekgotlo would bring him to church for the prayer line service. In just a month, a severe case of mental illness that would have taken years to heal, Mr. Lekgotlo's son's situation changed. He is now free, and the mental illness that had tormented him has been casted away from his life. His life has gone back to normal. He is able to feed himself, bathe himself, and now functions as a normal human being. Let us glorify God for this powerful testimony. Yes, people of God, Mr. Lekgotlo also gives testament on the power of fasting. Mr. Lekgotlo shares that he was able to take part in the 21 days of fasting and prayer that was declared by God's able servant at the end of January this year. It was in the beginning of the fast that Mr. Lekgotlo prayed to God that may any hidden agenda and anything that happens in secret be exposed to him. It was during the fasting that he began to notice a lot of the wrong and bad things that his children were engaged in and would immediately confront them. Today he gives testimony that now his children are on the path of aligning their character to that of our Lord Jesus Christ. Let us glorify God. We thank you for sharing with us your words of prophecy, confirmation.